Hey guys, in this video I will show you how to create a smooth hero section animation using GSAP and WebFlow. We will cover text animations, staggered effects, and a cool scrolling interaction. And these are all designed to make your website feel more dynamic and engaging. So this is what we have so far. I basically just added the styling in WebFlow. We have this hero section, and when you scroll down you have like a video, and that makes the whole content kind of like dynamic. And right now this is what the final website looks like. It doesn't do anything yet, but we want these things like to animate in and to animate on scroll as well. Let's head into Slater to start with coding. I'm gonna start by copying this code which I got from this library right here. This is used so we can split each word into individual characters and then to animate them basically. And then we're already gonna start straight away with GSAP. I'm gonna write a tween for the heading span, which is this one right here. And that I'm gonna give a Y% of -50, a duration of a second is fine, and a delay of about 0.5 seconds. And so it's gonna come up from the top down. Yeah, save that. And then we basically want the same thing almost for the button of the menu. I'm gonna put menu button here to make it a bit more engaging from the get-go. But I'm also gonna animate the opacity. From 0. So it's gonna go from 0 to 1. So let's see what this does right now. So they come in from the top, but I still want this header to kind of flow in. So we have a custom attribute, which is this one right here on the heading, and I'm gonna use that to animate each character, and as well using the type split library. So I'm just gonna copy this because it's quite tedious to type. And for each of those, I'm gonna open a new timeline and call it GSAP timeline. And then from that timeline, I'm gonna call this reference and find each character. And this is kind of a weird way to do it, but I saw it from someone else and I thought that I would give it a try. And like it's worked fine so far. And then here you just define your styles. So we want this to have an opacity of 0, to have a stagger for each of them of 0.01 seconds, and also a delay of 0.5 seconds. So that should make the text fade in. And I hope I'm not missing anything now. I'm missing something. This one right here. And now let's see what that looks like. Yeah. So now it kind of like flows in and it fades in the text, which I think is a nice effect. And then we can continue to the letters at the bottom right here. So like these ones, so they should like slide in as well, but not from the top, but from the bottom up. And for that, they also have a custom attribute, which is letter slide up right here. And we can actually copy the structure, paste it, and change this to letters slide up. And I hope this is gonna work. And then we are also going to use a timeline, but not just animate the opacity, but also animate the Y%, so it comes up from the bottom. And the delay is fine. The duration is going to be set to a second. to give it a kind of like a smooth feel. And I'm also going to give it a stagger of 1 instead of 0.1 because we only have 4 characters here instead of like many. And I actually forgot to give this an ease, so make it a bit smoother. Let me give this a power 3 out, and I'm gonna copy that ease for this animation as well. Didn't want to do that. Now, and let's see what we have right now. And now you can see that it fades in from the bottom, and I think this is a nice effect that you can work with. And then let's get to the circle, which is supposed to like animate from small to large to kind of like expand. And that's going to be a simple GSAP from. And we need to animate the circle. So we reference the circle and give it a scale of from 0. A delay of 0.2 to make it start a little bit earlier than the other ones. Opacity of 0 because we want to animate from 0 to 1 to show completely, and give it an ease of the same one as before. I actually used in out to have a kind of like a bouncing effect. So let's change that and see what this looks like at the moment. It's a bit fast. I don't like that. Can we give this a duration of 1? See what this looks like. That's better. Okay, and then we can, yes, so I think right now the loading screen is kind of done. The animations are done. And now we can go to the scroll timeline. Just gonna create the timeline first. Call it scroll TL. GSAP timeline, open this up and give it a scroll trigger. The trigger is going to be the body itself, so just reference the body class. Start is going to be top, and the end is going to be after the user has scrolled for 400 pixels. So we're going to do plus equals 400, which should take care of that. And we're also going to set scrub to true, so it's linked to the scroll bar. And now we can start actually by creating some tweens on the scroll bar, on the scroll timeline, my bad. Starting with the circle, because we want the circle to decrease in scale as we scroll down, but it like moves up, so it's like it's gonna like go like that. Yeah. And the scale 0.15, y of 125, and it's also going to move to the left a bit because it's not going to have the same like origin as before. So that's when I'm going to put the x to minus 125, and we don't actually need an ease. Yeah, so let's see what this does. Reload that, and now you can see that it, you know, it's going to like stick there, which is exactly what we want to make the website feel more engaging and dynamic. And now we can continue with the letter at the top right here. So I want those to fade out like on scroll, which we can actually use the same structure with the custom attribute again. Just use this, and then for each in that we can define a new timeline. Give this closing and an opening bracket, and then we can reference all the characters in here like this to find each character, which we split up using the split type library. And then we can create a new timeline for the scroll trigger, because it's not going to be linked exactly to the one at the top. So I'm going to call that GSAP timeline and give this a new scroll trigger. And the trigger is going to be the same one, so also the body, but I'm using a different one because it's going to end at a different point in time, like regarding the scroll. So we don't want it to end after 400 pixels scrolling, but we want it to end after already 250, so it's a bit smoother. Plus equals 250. And the scrub is also going to be set to true again, because we want to link it to the scroll bar, which is essential for this animation. And then we can add a to-tween, just like reference the characters. We want them to fade out again, so to opacity 0 instead of from opacity 0. And the stagger is going to be 0.05 this time, and the stagger each 0.05, but from this time from end, so it fades out in that direction and not the way it came in, which was from the left to the right. Yeah, so let's see what we have. And then on scroll, yeah, so this, I'm going to do the smoother with the trackpad, and that's pretty smooth. We can reference the letter slide up again. I'm going to actually copy the top part, although I'm just going to repeat myself. Close this one up. Here we reference the characters again. I'm missing my bracket, and then we can actually almost copy this as well because it has a similar structure, and this can stay the same, and then we want to animate the Y% instead of the opacity, and the stagger is 0.08 this time, and also from end. And what this will do is make them stagger down, and they are wrapped in a container that is said to overflow hidden, so it's gonna like hide them when you scroll down. So let's see if this works. Yeah, so they are like staggering down and being hidden by like the video that comes up, and that is the finished product. Yeah. This was a fairly quick one. I hope you liked it. And yeah, see you in the next one.